Hey, hi, we're live. Hi, Brooke. Thank you so much for joining.
Oh, my pleasure. Hey, Cory, how are you?
I'm good. How are you? I'm so excited to chat tonight and have you as a training advocate on Dogly. I'm just like slightly bursting. So thank you for everything, for joining tonight and for joining us in this crazy Dogly world.
Oh, it's my pleasure. You guys are super, super awesome and amazing, and it's an honor to join the Dogly team. So thank you.
Thanks. Well, I am very excited to get to know you a little bit better tonight. I have some like big overarching questions.
Bring them on.
Before we get into that,
Okay.
while everybody's kind of joining and getting situated, I thought we would start out with just some super quick intros. And I know you have some very cute special guests surrounding you. So just for everybody that's joining, I'm Cory from Dogly. And tonight I'm so excited to have Brooke from Palm Springs Dog Training to chat tonight and to be a part of Dogly as our newest training advocate. I can't wait to learn so much more from you. For everybody that doesn't know Brooke, I'm just going to do a really quick intro, like of what I have seen from your work.
Sounds good.
Brooke makes these amazing videos that make training not feel like training and make it super easy to just like have fun with your dog, and at the end, at the end of the day, your relationship improves, their behavior improves, like everything is just better. So I love your approach to training because you make it like so super easy.
Thank you.
So, but I would love, that's like my 2 cents on you, but I would love to know like a little bit more about like how you got to be a trainer and a little bit of your background.
Sure. First of all, thank you. That's super, super sweet. Nice to hear the feedback. Most of my days, although they involve working with lots of clients, I do work with lots and lots of dogs. So
Yep.
thank you. Appreciate the feedback.
Yeah.
I think I started being around dogs from the beginning. I was lucky enough to, be around some eye dogs. My grandma, my aunt, they were both blind. So from like the get-go, I was just that weird kid that was taking the already trained, seeing eye dogs and taking them outside and trying to teach them things that maybe they didn't learn. I was just always the kid trying to do things with dogs. And, to fast forward a little bit, I have a background in veterinary medicine, and I obviously I love dogs. I love cats too, but, I'm a dog trainer.
Yep. I have a cat, so it's okay. We can like be partial.
I would totally train them, but, dogs are more of an issue. So,
Yeah.
Definitely a dog trainer. And, I really, when I was in vet school, I really fell in love with dog behavior because there were so many behavior programs there. And not only that, where I went to veterinary school at Ross University in St. Kitts, it's nothing but street dogs. And I really got to see not only dogs with really severe issues, but I also was lucky enough to meet several people who knew how to train these dogs positively.
Yeah.
It opened up this whole world to me because I had spent years and years in, veterinary hospitals, and I didn't know that there was such a big difference between training your dog, positive and not positive. I always did positive without knowing it, but I didn't know how different it was, and also how important it is that people know about that. So, taking on these dogs that, I'll introduce you to that star in my show, it just, it was just, I was just meant to do it. So I was lucky enough to get 3, lots of people leave the island with 1 problem dog. I just so happen to leave with 3. So, yeah, I would. So I was fortunate enough to come back with them and really learn how to fix, those more tough behaviors, not only just obedience.
Yeah. And it must be so interesting too. Like I'm sure being, you know, like an island stray dog, maybe I'm totally wrong, but I would sort of think like their mentality or like maybe some of the things that you had to, you know, help them through are maybe different than like what a dog, you know, growing up in like a city would be, you know, the issues that like they would encounter. Like, is the mentality different, or like dogs are dogs and it doesn't
very completely different. You know, my clients oftentimes will ask me when they have a problem dog, and they'll say, you know, feeling stressed about their dogs, maybe they're reactive or lunging on a leash, and they always say, you know, have you ever seen a dog that's as hard as mine? And I'm like, well, yes, I have. And honestly, in my whole profession, I've never seen dogs that are harder, more intricate, more sensitive to noises as these guys. So yes, they're very different.
Yeah, that's so cool. Do you want to introduce them to us? I see a couple heads like bobbing up and down.
Yes, they're saying you're talking on a video. It must mean time for me.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, let's do this. So right now we have we have Dreamy.
Hi, Dreamy. Oh my gosh.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Oh, such a love. Oh my goodness. Look at that. I was just like,
love you. I love you. Love. So Dreamy and then his sister, they look nothing alike. So, but they are sisters. His sister is Little Gray.
Hi, Little Gray. Oh my gosh.
They were the last two rescues as I was getting ready to leave the island that I rescued. Not going the whole story. I have the video on it. But they were the last two rescues. The first island dog rescue was this girl. Let's see, right back here.
Oh my goodness.
She says, I major in relaxing now because I just turned 7. So this is my profession. That's Liat.
So chill.
Yeah, she's very chill. She's very happy not to be an island dog.
Right.
And my newest addition, I love you too. And then my newest addition is Spirit, my husky, who does so much work with Palm Springs dog training. He just turned 10 months.
Hi,
and this is my not beautiful. Just kidding. This is my Spirit. Hi, there you go.
Oh my gosh.
Look, Spirit, look.
Hi, Spirit. Oh my goodness. What a model.
He sure is. And that's
he's so cute. And he's like the most well-behaved 10-month-old ever.
He's a good boy. He's done a lot of training, and although I like to try to think that people remember me, I kid you not, no matter where I go, if I show up at the grocery store without him, they say, Where's your husky?
Totally. That's so, I mean, that's what like everybody, or at least I don't know everybody. I always remember people's dogs rather than the people themselves. I think that's just like how the world works, right?
Me too. Yes, that's very true. And that's cool. He's a beautiful dog. So
yeah, that's so funny. Oh my gosh. I love that you have this like eclectic crew, but they're all so just chill and like good with I think anybody that has followed us for a while knows that my dog Bosley, anytime I'm like on the phone or trying to do a live, he feels as though he needs to be vocal and a part of whatever I'm doing. And he's like almost 3 years old, so we definitely have some work to do. So this is like goals of dogs, basically.
Aw. Well, they're smart dogs. So.
Yeah. Yep. He knows he needs my attention at all times. But anyway, so I love your crew. That's amazing. Before we get into the questions that I have, should we just quickly talk about your training community and kind of what people can expect? And for anybody that doesn't know about the advocate communities, so we started these advocate communities a couple months ago on Dogly because we wanted to make it really easy to learn from and connect with the like smartest, best positive trainers, holistic vets, nutritionists, wellness, like anybody that can help you kind of worry less about the things that like I was worrying about. Like my dog Bosley's a little reactive. I was, having anxiety about how to help him. So, or like, you know, what to feed him, like any questions that anybody's worried about with their dogs, we just wanted to make it super easy to find the best people all in one place. And now Brooke is a part of the advocate communities and has her own training community on Dogly. And we've put the link to her community, I think it's above us and it's in the comments. So you can go check out, she's already started sharing a bunch of amazing videos. But do you want to talk a little bit about like what you're going to be sharing and talking about in your community?
Sure, I'd love to. I think an easier answer to that would be, what will I not be sharing?
Right.
I put so much information online because just like, you know, kind of like you were talking about, I want that information to be out there. So I'm going to put, and I've already put 6 or 7 links to videos on my Dogly community for people to just check out, you know, just basic obedience stuff. You can get a better idea of, you know, my style, what I do, how I do it. And what I'm going to be doing more is more one-on-one type things, you know, like, for example, you know, one of the things, like right now I'm doing a dog brain game series. So I'm going to add a couple of those games and I'm going to put that on the private community, correct?
Yeah, that would be, anything to like deep dive into would be amazing, because I think, at least from what, like when there's so much information out there that like it's just so helpful to have like a trustworthy resource to know that like when, if we have questions, or, you know, what if we're learning a particular thing with you, like it's so helpful to just like have you there to like learn from, ask questions to, like all of that. So I'm really excited. We actually we emailed out one of your dog brain games that you already shared. We sent that out to our email people earlier today. So if anybody's watching that, got that email, definitely go check out that video. So yeah.
It's fun while you're training. You know, training is fun, and it's so many steps that the more that you break it down, which is why I like the videos, because it reminds me how many steps there are. So, you know, the easier you make it and the more fun you make it, the more we're going to want to go do things with our dogs.
Totally. That's what I always say, that like, I feel like training is the wrong word. Like it needs to be, we need a new word, or we need to like rebrand it, because it's not, I feel like when we hear the word training, it's like teaching your dog to sit or stay, or like those like check the box kind of things. But
exactly.
Really like getting to know, it's like having fun and getting to know them, and like just having a good time together. And it's not like drill sergeant.
Exactly. Yes. Totally agree.
Yeah. So we'll have to come up with a new word.
I love it. There's so much more than sit down, come, stay, leave it. I mean, so much more.
Yeah. And it's all super fun.
Yes.
Okay. So my 3 big questions for you. Okay. So my first one is, and we've asked every advocate that has come on to Dogly, we decided to ask everybody the same questions. Right. It's so interesting to hear everybody's answer. So the first one is, what is your why? So why have you dedicated your life to other people's dogs, basically, to training other people's dogs and kind of helping people, you know, live better lives with their dogs? Why?
That's a great question. You know, kind of like I was saying, you know, about my vet school story, hands down, you know, the thing that is so interesting to me, and I mean to say this right, but the beautiful world of dog training is so divided between, you know, like the shock collar and the not shock collar, and the quick fix and the not quick fix. And there's so much information out there, and, you know, by just anybody can write information out there. And for me, which is why I love doing my channel, and now I'm excited to be a part of Dogly, is that it is so important to get that information out there so that we know and that we can keep being a part of getting away from that old school drill sergeant, like boot camp type of thing, where our dogs, have to do this, have to do that, opposed to teaching them to do things because they're all such a huge part of our family, obviously. And also being able to build that relationship with them. And from a training aspect, one of the things that I notice specifically when I get dogs that have been trained another way is when they do have an opportunity to learn to, we'll just say recall, come when called, with positive training and to work through those steps, their recall, in my experience, becomes so much more reliable. So not only do we have an opportunity to build our relationship with our dogs, but we also can get the results that we want as far as training goes with having them do such reliable recall. So, and make it fun at the same time.
Yeah. And it's so cool watching them enjoy it too. Like my dog loves to train. Like when we're like trying new things or he's learning, he's like very food motivated. So he loves getting the rewards. But you can see that like his brain is going and he's into it. And it's so cool to see him happy. And then it makes you happy. It's just like it's a really cool experience when you get into it. What's that?
It's a very cool experience when they get it. When you see that click, I agree. And in fact, I'm a little nerdy that whenever that happens, I try to not get too excited.
Oh, it's great.
Super excited when they get it because it's especially since like I think we all forget that they don't speak English. Now They speak their humans English. They know words we say, of course, but aside from that, they read our body. Everything we do, they are reading. They are analyzing, and so when they get it and we have that communication with them, it's just that's my favorite part of training and working with dogs as well.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's like the magic moment. That's so cool. Awesome. So my second question is, and maybe they're connected, but so my second question is, so in terms of, so obviously you work with a lot of dogs, you talk to a lot of people, you've done a ton of videos, you're constantly sharing information. If there was one piece of information or like one nugget of information that if people remember nothing else, like this is it, like this is like the one thing that you wish everybody remembered, what would that be?
Patience. 100%. Patience and sticking with it. Don't give up. Just because you're working on a behavior, it seems like it's hard. Just stick with it. Be patient. Definitely patience in dog training.
Yeah, it's so hard though. I think we're so in the world of like instant gratification.
Absolutely.
And it's so hard, especially when like something is already happening. It's so hard to be patient through it when you're just like, I wish we were already, like 3 months into this or whatever, that like it would already be, we would be great.
Exactly.
But it's a process. But I think it's worth it, right? Like it's worth sticking through it and doing it right. And it'll have much longer implications down the road and be much longer lasting than just like whatever, going for a quick fix and being impatient or whatever the means to the end is. But I think it's staying through it.
Absolutely, 100%. And to keep the answer short, but there's so much criteria that goes into things, and it always goes back to maybe someone's at the door, like they don't know if someone's coming to the door. They just know what the door means. That something very stimulating is going to happen. So patience, consistency. If you asked me that question again and I had to give a second answer, it would be consistency.
Okay. Yeah, but which is also hard. Like all of it is hard. Like none of this is easy, and it's all. I think it's all. It's if you can like nerd out and see it from like a learning, interest, kind of like sciencey, dig into the reasoning and the psychology behind like a dog's brain and all of that, and your relationship. Like I think that gets really. It's cool to think about it from that perspective. I think I don't know. I think otherwise it's like it's hard or it's easy to be impatient and it's easy to not be consistent because you're like, oh, I'm just like running out. Like, do I have to take treats with me to like train him this time? Like, we're just like going out,
Exactly.
So you did not do it right.
Exactly. Totally. 100%. But at some point, we all do reach a moment where it doesn't get that hard. There are some behaviors that take longer than others, but of course, I go through the same thing. I mean, I have 4 dogs, so
that's true.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you can do it, everybody can. That's awesome. All right. So my last question, and probably ties into what we were just talking about, but I'm sure there are many. If you could choose one misconception when it comes to the training world, is there a misconception that you hear or that people ask you about or that you see online? Is there one misconception that you kind of want to like myth bust or say the opposite side of it? Is there like a misconception that you hear all the time that just isn't true?
Yes. Good questions, Cory. Yes, the biggest misconception that I hear and I read, because I follow all kinds of dog trainers, positive and not positive, is that all positive trainers do is just give treats to dogs.
Yeah.
And if I were to, although there's many different trainers and there's many different levels, and there's a good possibility that could have been an experience. That's the first thing that I break down in every single training lesson that I do with anyone, because in dog training, it has to go a step farther. So it's not just about treats, it's about marking them. So, for example, if I'm teaching a dog to sit, they learn a marker word from the get-go, whether you use the clicker or whether you use the verbal word. And my dogs can do things they don't do anything for that marker word. So, it's not all about, like, here's a treat.
Right.
That's the one thing I always like to break, that it's not, positive training is not bribery.
Right.
It is not at all. They are learning to work with me, and because of that, they get a reward. And we get rewards when we go to work. Like, I get paid, so it's the same exact thing. It's their currency.
Yeah, I love that. Treats are their currency. That's great. That's a good way to think about it.
100%.
Makes it super easy.
Yes.
That's awesome. Well, I was trying to keep this to 30 minutes, and I think we're pretty good. I am so thankful for you to come on and chat and take the time to like do all of this. I think this is going to be so much fun to learn with you and from you. And for anybody that is watching, thank you so much for joining us tonight. It was so great to get to know you a little bit more, Brooke, and dive into these questions. For everybody that's watching, definitely go check out Brooke's community on Dogly. It's above, it's in the comments.
She's
everywhere. She's posted some awesome videos, and I know a lot more is to come. So thank you for everybody for watching. Thank you so much, Brooke, and to all the pups for being so amazing.
Absolutely.
So much fun.
Thank you, Cory, so much. We're actually in our studio now. We're planning some super good information to put up on the Dogly community, and it's just the beginning. So, the pleasure is all ours, and we love you guys, and it's gonna be awesome.
Yes. Amazing. Well, thank you so much. Everybody have a good rest of your week. Hopefully not as crazy as last week. So, and yeah, Brooke, we'll have to have you back soon and do some more chats for sure.
Sounds great. Thanks, Cory.
Thanks everybody. Bye.
Bye.